It is a pleasure to meet you. It is a pleasure to meet you. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Gonna introduce me, Vera?
I know I must look a little odd right now.
Well, I guess it's all relative.
Actually, it's relatives. I'm here to pick up some women.
You'll have better luck at bars.
No, I mean...
Just kidding.
Oh.
So, who are these women? Diplomats?
Ambassador Mallory's 3 wives.
A harem. Oh, the lucky dog.
You are Veer?
Yes.
I am Timov, daughter of Al Ghul. You will take me to my husband.
I was told there would be 3 of you.
Who is this? No, never mind. I said you will bring me to my husband. Is your hearing deficient?
No, but I do
Then let's be off.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Should have put the emphasis on pleasure. She'd have loved you then.
Pleasure?
Veer?
Yes, madam.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Matt.
And this is
We Are All Kosh.
a Babylon 5 rewatch. Welcome back, friends. Aw, this episode was a delight. I mean, we've gone through some good. I mean, every episode's fine, but it's the nature of the beast when you have 20 plus episodes per season that some are going to be winners and some are, just kind of there. This is one of those ones that every time it comes up, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
I like this one.
You handed me the printout of the transcript.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is thick. Oh, Londo's wives are here. There's a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, there's a lot of dialogue. I love this so much. This is Babylon 5, Season 2, Episode 7, Soulmates. It aired the 14th of December, 1994. This was written by Peter David. He also novelized In the Beginning and Third Space. So the novelizations of those two are him. He wrote a crap ton of Star Trek episodes. Just look that up. He also wrote the episode They're All Honor Lies, which hasn't aired yet. That's a 1995 episode. He also wrote Spider-Man 2, the novel. He novelized Spider-Man 2, the movie.
Interesting.
Which I love for him. And he created the character Spider-Man 2099.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he did a lot of Marvel stuff and a lot of Star Trek stuff. And then 2 episodes of this. Happy for him. He must have been big because on the forum, he went on the forum and answered a bunch of questions. And he was like, yeah, for the past 5 years, I've been writing Star Trek novels. So I think he must be a big writer.
Yeah.
I write books, not just TV shows. And fans kept asking, when are you going to start doing Trek TV episodes? So here comes Babylon 5. I do an episode, and what do fans keep asking? When am I going to do a Babylon 5 novel? Ah! That's what he literally wrote. NYAAARRRRRGG. Ah! Oh, anyway. I'll get to his quotes because I put them where I normally put JMS's quotes. And he had a couple of really funny insights into the writing of this episode, which this episode was really well written. I just really enjoyed this episode. Mm-hmm. I think part of my favorite thing is the 2 wives who are powerhouse TV actresses, and they get cast side by side in this, and they are having a sitcom off. And I love that for them. It was directed by John C. Flynn III, who's another guy who's primarily a cinematographer, but he also directed TKO. And apparently he was also in the episode Grail as Mr. Flynn, which I love for him.
Pulling a king.
All right. So Matthew Stoner is played by Keith. Polish last name. Okay. Zarabajka, I think. You want to try? Okay, here you go.
Sure.
Szara.
Yeah, Zarabajka.
You could probably look it up, but it's quite the last name. He has been in, I shit you not, like 250 things. I was scrolling through his IMDb.
Yes, his
for like
his
30
face
minutes.
is memorable.
Yeah, he was Daniel Holtz in Angel, the Angel's nemesis, his Van Helsing character, the one who shows up, steals his son, and then fucks off to a demon dimension.
Yeah,
So
he has a very punchable face.
Yeah. He does have a very punchable face. He always has the punchable face. And that's, I can recognize his voice from a mile off because he has such a very distinctive voice. He played the voice of Laserbeak in Transformers Dark of the Moon, apparently. But in like pretty much every other Transformers credit, of which he has many, he is Ironhide.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
He had 265 credits. I wrote it down, dating back to 1979.
Wow.
He was
started early.
Dr. David Zuckerman in a movie called Nightlife, which was a vampire made-for-TV movie that came out in 1989 and was, fun fact, the first vampire movie I ever saw. I was downstairs at my grandma's house. I put it on and I was like, oh, what is this? And little did I know that I would be chasing that high for the rest of my life. And I remember watching it and I thought it was this serious. I was like, oh my God, this is like whatever. I found it finally and rewatched it because all I could remember were clips. You know, you have those like formative books or movies or TV shows and you can remember part but not all. But I knew Keith was in it. And so I looked up Keith and then I scrolled through IMDb until I got to his vampire credit, which is Nightlife. And I was like, oh, that's probably it. So I played it and I was like, well, this is it. But it's a comedy. It's like a really terrible comedy. It's really funny. We'll have to watch it sometime. He was in 56 episodes of The Equalizer, which was a television show, apparently. He was in an episode of Early Edition, which I think I mentioned, and is included in my phantom casting of the movie of the television shows that we're gonna do. The like when we launch our One Season Wonders podcast, because it was the one where the guy got tomorrow's newspaper.
I remember that show,
and he had to try to save people or stop things from happening.
Yeah.
It's all around the same era as like there was a lot of one season TV shows around that time. He was in the get ready for this. Are you ready? Because apparently he was in like every television show that was based on a movie that I didn't know existed. So he was in the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the TV show. He was in Godzilla, the TV show. He was in Men in Black, the TV show. He was in Roughnecks, the Starship Troopers TV show. He was in The Mummy TV show.
What?
I was like, I didn't even know these were a thing. And he was in every one of them. He was a voice in a bunch of the Mass Effect games. He was a voice in the Chocobo video game, which I didn't even know there was a Chocobo-specific video game.
I vaguely recall a Chocobo-specific video game.
And he was in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as Gilgamesh. And pretty much any time Gilgamesh is in Final Fantasy, he's Gilgamesh. He's the voice of Gilgamesh. And I was like, oh, okay. And it kind of made me want to go back and play all of the Final Fantasy games for a variety of reasons, because I need direction in my life, clearly. That's why I'm always looking for something.
Well, I got 1 through 6.
Well, I know.
But those don't have voices.
Because we had talked about, you thought it would be funny if I started doing like Twitch streaming, because I do a lot on Minecraft. I do a lot, but just, for me personally. Mm-hmm. And it would be kind of fun because I do a lot of very elaborate things. And it's just me being like, tee-hee, that was great. I love my own work. And then so anyway, I don't know, sound off. Would you guys watch me play video games? Just shoot the shit for hours. Mostly complaining because I can never remember button press combinations, but I think I can figure it out. All right, so Lois Nettleton is the one who plays Daguerre.
Yeah. She
was Miss Chicago in 1948. Go Lois. She has credits dating back to 1953. That was pretty crazy. She was in Kung Fu, like the original Kung Fu, and she was in all 10 episodes of Centennial, which famously is the television show that we got on tape, and one of the episodes was actually a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Gotcha.
She was in a bunch of Murder, She Wrote, which makes sense because JMS worked on Murder, She Wrote for 2 years. She was also in The Pretender, which every time I put up a poll that's like, what TV show should we do next? There's one fan who's always like, can you do The Pretender? Which I would love to do, but we chose different television shows each time, and I feel guilty every time I see The Pretender. I'm like, I would really love to do that for you if I had infinite amounts of time.
Mm-hmm.
She died in 2008 at the age of 80. Blair Volk is the one who plays Marielle. She's the one who has the least number of credits, pretty much. She was Marissa in an episode of Kindred the Embraced. Her real name is, oh my God, okay, here we go. Borovnisa Blairvake. Blairvak, I don't know. One of those things. Her name means blueberry.
Aww.
Her name is Blueberry, but it's blueberry in her original language. And apparently that's because she was born breech and she was blue when she was born. So her mother named her Blueberry, which I think is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Carol Stroiken. God, there was so many names. Carel. Carol Stroiken is the guy who plays the traitor. He's Lurch, obviously, from the 90s Addams Family movies, which are the perfect Addams Family movies. And I don't know why we keep trying to improve on what is obviously perfection.
Right.
They are so fucking good. I love all of the 90s and Addams Family movies. I have no notes. Everything about them is perfect. And yet, anyway, it's fine. Somebody got me to watch Wednesday. I don't want to talk about it. I just don't want to talk about it. So he was also in Twin Peaks as Giant, just Giant, which he's 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. He was in the television show or the TV made for TV movie, Ewoks, The Battle for Endor. And his first credit was he was in Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the movie. Oh, like, good for you. All right, Jane Carr is Timoff. My favorite character in this show.
Because it's you.
From 1979 to 1981, she served as president for the Interim Theater for the Deaf, which I thought was really interesting, considering
that is really cool.
Richard Biggs, the guy who plays Dr. Franklin, is partially deaf.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he doesn't have hearing on one side. Sometimes you'll see him mouth the words. He had to learn everybody else's dialogue.
Oh, so he could keep up.
So he could keep up with everybody was saying if it's a really fast-paced scene.
Mm-hmm.
She's in tons of British television. You can tell. She has the most British comedy delivery, I think, of any actor I've ever seen in my entire life. If I didn't know she was in a bunch of British comedies and you showed her to me, I'd be like, oh, she clearly was. She was in Upstairs, Downstairs, which is like a classic. It's like, Are You Being Served? It's in the British sitcom zeitgeist of like very classic comedies. The deadpan, quick wit, fast way she delivers every single one of her comedy lines is so fucking British.
Yeah.
And she was in the Royal Shakespeare Company. That's why she came to America.
Oh.
Yeah. And apparently she played alongside Patrick Stewart in something. And then she was like, haha, I also got to play a bald sci-fi character. She was in 90 episodes of Dear John from 88 to 92. She was in Clueless, the TV show. And she was she was also in The Mummy, the TV show.
Wow.
And she was a voice on Treasure Planet. And she was also in Willow, the TV series. The ill-fated Willow TV series. I thought that was all very interesting. That they cast Jane Carr and Louis Nettleton, who are two like iconic, classic female TV actresses, and then pitted them against each other, and it's magic. It's so good. So this is the part where Peter David was talking about his writing for the episode, and he goes, the one about the past 5 years I've been writing Trek novels, and then I write Babylon 5, and they're like, great, when are you going to write Babylon 5 novels? And he said, Daguerre was pestilence. Timoff was famine and Marielle was death. And originally he was going to have each of their names reflect their respective horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
But he decided that was too cutesy.
Okay.
And so he did not. But the only holdover is that Timoff's name is vomit spelled backwards. And of course, Daguerre is like dagger.
Yeah.
Anyway. And he goes, you realize, of course, that Londo is, by process of elimination, war.
which appropriate.
Yeah. I saw a bunch of, well, you can tell they are what they are because, and one of them was like daguerre, which daguerre is like war or death or whatever in French, I think. And they're like, that's how you know she's whatever. And the other one was like anagrams of their name. It was like Tim was vomit backwards. One was like she lies or whatever. I was like, the liar, Marielle, is like she lie. I don't remember. I was just like, this is a stretch. You guys are stretching. This is such a stretch. Just listen to what he said. He told you who each one was. And apparently he had to refute the idea that JMS had forced him to put a line in the script because he has a whole paragraph where he's like, no, he didn't give me dialogue that I had to put in the script. It's just that when he has a writer write for him, he gives them like one line of description.
Okay.
He said basically the log line like you'd see in TV Guide, just the little description at the beginning. He said he was something like, Londo's wives show up on Babylon 5, and in the way that Londo handles the difficulties that ensue, we learned something about the type of man that he is.
Okay.
And that was like the direction he was given. And he's like, really? That's it. And I said, that's what he does. And people were like, oh, he told you to put that in there. And he was like, no, that's literally just how he gives you direction on what the script's supposed to be about. And he said, in regards to working with Louis Nettleton and Jane Carr, he was like, you know, Louis Nettleton's career goes farther back than Jane Carr's does, although Jane is from the Royal Shakespeare Company. And he mentioned the thing about Patrick Stewart. And so he was like, yeah, it was a great honor to work with these two actresses because people immediately recognized them as famous actresses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so JMS didn't actually have a lot to say about this one because he let Peter take it. But he was like, isn't this funny? This is basically our Christmas episode because it came out December 14th. He was like, it's good. It's a fitting Babylon 5 one. And then he refuted the idea that they should have arrested Marielle. And he goes into a lot of description about like what you would need to do to be able to arrest Marielle and how there's really no way.
Diplomatic immunity. Yeah.
Oh, and there's really no way of tying her to it because she just bought it. She can be like, well, I didn't know.
Right.
Right. There's the trail is
like,
very
they
well
all
put
know
together.
She did it.
Yeah.
On intuition, but she covered her tracks well.
Yeah. And he's like, guys, I worked for 2 years on Murder, She Wrote. I know a lot about how this stuff works. That was the funniest part of the whole thing. And he said Peter, as in Peter Jurasik, is having the time of his life because he loves where his character is going. He loves the range of emotions he gets to play. I saw him for a bit on the set today shooting Soulmates, and he is just tickled, particularly since he's playing opposite Louis Nettleton, Jane Carr, and Blair Volk as his 3 wives.
Yeah.
So he was like, this is so fucking fun. And then I got some trivia. I'm almost done, I swear to God. It says, when Jakar is talking to Londo and his wives, Jakar tosses something to Marielle. Did you catch that? And people were like, oh, that's when she got the poison or the activator or whatever. And he's like, oh, no. When you share fruit in Narn culture, that's like a thing you do with a loved one or someone you're infatuated with. So it was Jakar clearly stating to Londo that he's fucking his wife. Or your wife's fucking me.
I'm wondering if or when we ever explain that context in the show.
On the forum.
Just on the forum?
Probably as like a little Easter egg for the people that are active on the internet. Maybe later we talk about it. I don't know. But it's not like it doesn't make it obvious at the end when they're hanging out in Jakar's quarters and he's wearing his I just fucked somebody robe. So it's hey, we're previously acquainted. So he tosses her a grape. That's what he tosses her.
Okay.
Which it's odd to include when it's something so small you can't actually tell what he throws her.
Right.
And then we have this thing where Londo gets attacked because it can be so easily misinterpreted as I'm involved in this whole plot, which is, I think, why it's important to include that part at the end where he's like, really weird that happened. You did a good job, but like he's going to figure it out. Yeah. And she's like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about at all.
Or some kind of filler scenes where it's like random non-human races discussing gossip.
Yeah.
Like Did you see Jakar threw Marielle a grape?
That's our
and
Below
she
Decks.
ate it?
That's our Below Decks episode, which we need a corresponding episode to every single Babylon 5 episode.
Yeah.
Where you have it from the point of view of the people just going about their lives.
Yeah, to...
Like the Lurch character being like, I didn't want to be involved in that. I didn't want to be included. They make me a part of that.
Yeah, where they more organically explain all of the little Easter egg, like, context cultural signaling stuff. Yeah,
Right.
that'd be cool.
During the one scene after Londo is shot with the booby trap statue where Bruce Boxleitner has to tap his comlink and say like, Medlab, this is Sheridan. Apparently during the first take he goes, Medlab, this is Sinclair, and everybody died. So
Even
for
Bruce
the
got
record,
it mixed up.
even he gets them switched. According to the writer Peter David, he struggled with writing this episode at first because he kept sending them outline drafts and they would send it back for being too Star Trek. And it wasn't until Harlan Ellison suggested he watch The Women from 1939 that he got a grip on the episode and realized that what they meant by too Star Trek was that he was having everybody go back to the status quo at the very end. Because he was used to resetting the sandbox,
Right.
and that's not what Babylon 5 was about.
Right.
The other little piece of trivia that I found interesting was that Mira Furlan did not want to do the scene where she says she has cramps
Oh,
because she felt like it was infantile humor and it didn't fit her character.
interesting.
And they were like, no, it's not really that it's a joke. It's that we're highlighting how much of Delenn has changed.
How human she's become.
And hint that she may now be capable of, like, having a human child.
Yeah.
That she may now actually be biologically compatible enough
Mm.
to be able to have a kid. So then we can start the episode, which we get a lot of Veer in this episode. This was good for so many reasons. We finally got Jakar. We finally got Londo. We finally got Veer. We finally got Dr. Franklin doing something other than malevolently walking around in the background.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything we can deliberately misconstrue about Dr. Franklin's
Not
behavior.
in this episode. This was so good. Peter, you did a really good job. I'm glad they made you go back and make it not too Star Trek.
Mhm.
Because he crushes it on the dialogue. The dialogue
yeah.
is hysterical. And then giving all of those very British lines to the very British actress was
I'm
perfection.
wondering if they got to do any ad-libbing on the
I very
the
much
banter.
doubt it. Apparently the only thing that JMS changed is the scene where Londo wakes up and he says, "Am I in Medlab or am I in hell?"
Okay.
And he added, "Either way, the decor needs work." That's what JMS added. I don't think so. As with anything else, they were very restricted. They were very restricted in their ability to ad lib.
Yeah.
So I think,
But the banter between the wives seems like a space that would be available for ad-libbing.
yeah, somewhat. I think she did modify the delivery. I think that the pacing is hers. I don't know that the words are hers.
Gotcha.
Because we start out with Veer and he's practicing greeting them. He's like, "It's a pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you." And Garibaldi walks over. Garibaldi walks over and he's like, "Are you going to introduce me?" Because Veer's just talking to the air.
Right.
And he's like, "Okay, so I know this seems a little odd right now." And Garibaldi just goes, "Well, I mean, that's relative.
Yeah.
You are Veer and you are Centauri. So like, okay." And Veer doesn't get it. He goes, "Actually, it's relatives. I'm here to pick up some women." And Garibaldi's like, "Well, you have better luck at some bars." And he goes, No. And Garibaldi's like, "It's a joke." And I like Veer's, "Oh,
Very autism coded.
it's so good."
The like scripting
Well,
your
it's very
conversation beforehand and interpreting everything like hyper literally.
totally literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's not expecting Garibaldi to walk up and start joking with him. Plus, he's
Right.
in a very stressful situation. He's meeting Londo's wives. Londo has at his disposal the ability to destroy 10,000 Narns and leave no trace.
Yep.
And now
Veer
he's
knows
like,
it.
"Veer, go get my wives." And Veer's like, "Oh my God. Oh my God.
Is this how you pulled that off?
What else is Londo capable of?" He's like, oh, so are these women diplomats or what? And he's like, oh, no, Ambassador Malari's 3 wives. And Garibaldi goes, a harem, the lucky dog.
Which, no.
No, I'm pretty sure harem implies unmarried. Like you're...
No, it can be married, but...
I haven't read enough Why Choose, apparently.
It's, a harem implies that your multiple partners are generally infatuated with you.
Yeah. Apparently, Jane Carr walked up to Peter on the set, Peter, the writer, Peter David, and was like, did you know my name is Vomit spelled backwards? He was like, yeah, that's the whole point. Because Timoff gets off first, and she's like, are you off via? I loved her voice. She does so good at this. And he's like,
she's kind of imitating the same tone as Londo.
She is a little bit, yeah. I did like that they had a range of accents.
Yeah.
We have very British, very American, and very... She's from Paris, but she doesn't sound French.
Right.
Whatever the other lady is, Marielle.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes, I am Timoff, daughter of Al Ghul. And Al Ghul means the devil, as in Ra's al Ghul, or the demon.
Okay.
And Peter David, the writer, was like, it ends up being kind of ironic that he stays married to the woman whose father is the devil. Interestingly enough. She goes, you will take me to my husband. And he's like, oh, wait, I thought there was going to be 3 of you. She goes, I'm sorry.
Right, and she brute forces her way.
Yeah, Garibaldi. Who is this? That's what she says to Garibaldi. Who is this? You know, never mind. Take me to my husband.
Not important.
Is your hearing deficient? Then let's be off. And she just walks off. Like, fuck all the rest of the people. I'm leaving. They end up having to drift their own way to Londo's quarters. Because Timoff is like, fuck them. I don't care. Let's go right now. He's like, it's a pleasure to meet you, as she's walking away. And Garibaldi's like, should have put the emphasis on pleasure. She'd have loved you then. And he's like, oh, God damn it. Pleasure, really? Veer? Yes, madam. He takes off after her. And then Garibaldi turns around because he hears somebody arguing. And this is our first glimpse of Matthew Stoner, who you will want to punch for the entirety of the episode, which is just a good sign of how good he is at doing this.
Yeah.
Because he gets under Garibaldi's skin immediately. And their immediate antagonism towards each other is so well done.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives us, normally Garibaldi is above it all.
Yeah.
Things happen. He gets mad at the circumstances, but he doesn't necessarily get angry at the person. A lot of times he's angry at himself for missing something.
Yeah.
But he's immediately like, oh, I could fucking kill this guy. You want me to kill him? I could kill him. Can I kill him? Is that a thing I can do right now, please? And I think it's because he keeps insulting his intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like Garibaldi's weakness. He hates being called ignorant.
Yeah.
Because he prides himself on how much he knows. That's how Sheridan got him back. He was like, you know more than I do. You're better at this than I am. And Garibaldi's like, you have pushed all the correct buttons. I will now be working for you.
You have earned my loyalty.
You have earned my loyalty.
Flattery will get you many places.
And this was a really interesting way to open up Matthew Stoner's character, because we imply the first time you actually have a conversation with him, when he's talking with Talia, he says he's lost his telepathic ability.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to believe for a minute that this man has lost his telepathic ability, maybe don't open up with him doing some telepathic bullshit.
Right.
Because he literally looks at the guy and the guy's like, oh, you know what? Actually, never mind. What was I saying? And Matthew's like, absolutely nothing. Move along.
Right.
Garibaldi clocks it. He's like, oh, whoop, whoop, bullshit meter.
So, yeah, something's going on here. Did you want to cover
No, because they're kind of
separately?
intertwined.
Okay.
Apparently they had a third plot at one point where there was a arrogant race, a first contact situation with a really arrogant race.
Mm.
And then they were like, it doesn't really fit.
Well, we kind of have the C plot with Delenn.
I mean, that's
Delenn's hair.
Yeah, but it wasn't that. It was literally, they had yet another plot in this episode, and they were like, it's too much. And they moved it to another later episode. And then we come to Sheridan and Garibaldi talking together. And he immediately goes to Sheridan. He's like, oh, Hinky shit is happening.
Yeah, we need to look up this guy.
Yeah, because he turned around, he went to the dock worker, gave the guy his description. He was like short, punchable, and he was like, oh yeah, I just scanned him in. His name is Matthew Stoner.
Yeah.
God, Matthews. I know a Matthew.
Hi, I'm Matt.
And it's really funny that they refer to him as Stoner and not Matt for this whole entire episode because I have never yet met a Matt yet that calls other Matts Matt. You all call each other by your last name.
There's so many of us. It gets confusing.
I bet. There's a bunch at your work, I know, because I can tell you just call them by their last name.
Yeah.
You're like, this is so-and-so. And I'm like, that's a Matt. I know, because you didn't use his first name.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wasn't it the number one name the year you were born?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. It's like Asher.
Asher right now.
Rachel tends to fall under that same category, but there's fewer of us now. We had a burst of popularity, and I haven't met any new Rachels in a while. Newly minted, one might say. Because he's like, okay, so this guy's name was Stoner, and Sheridan's like, yep, okay, doesn't ring a bell. And he's like, okay, so the official who passed him through recognized him from his description immediately. So I ran a check on him, and there's literally nothing extraordinary about him. He's a
so
freelance.
Sheridan's like, so what's the deal?
Yeah, why are we here? What are we talking about?
I don't know. That's the problem.
He's like, there's hundreds of thousands of guys like him. Like, okay, so like, why are we talking about this? He's like, I don't know. You just get a sense for these things. So much of what I do is just gut instinct.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you would have to. That is the untrainable part that makes him good at what he does.
Yeah.
Is he doesn't dismiss what he sees.
Right.
Which is why we couldn't have had him.
He sees everything.
We couldn't have had him there when they opened the cryo chamber in the last episode because we would have solved the problem within 30 seconds. He would have been like, oh shit, something just came out. We got to figure out what it was. And instead of them being like, what? Which is what they did. He's like, I see things. I don't even notice they're there, but they put me on guard. And I just hate not knowing why. And this is when Talia shows up. And she's like, hey, you want to see me? And he's like, oh yeah. I do. I did want to see you. There's some shit happening with Psychor. I want to get your take on it. And she's like, okay, well, anyway, I wanted to tell you that you're doing a really good job. Like, you've settled in really nicely.
I wonder if this is like 6 months since he...
This is May. It takes place in May. So he started in January. So January,
So
February,
it's
March,
been 4
April, May.
months?
It's been 5 months.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's been time. But this is setting up a running joke, which is everybody's like, well, I just want to tell you you've been settling in nicely. And he's like, why is everybody telling me that?
I wonder if it's his 100 days.
Maybe. Well, no, we'd be past 100 days.
At 4 months? February, March, April, May?
Yeah.
If he started like...
He starts at the beginning of January, like January 2nd.
Yeah.
Oh, like 8th or something. He starts at the beginning of January. So even if it's the beginning of May, it's fine. It's just been long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, well, you know, I'm getting settled in. And then again, the day is young. And she's like, okay, so how can I be of service? And this is when he's like, there's rumors from the Psychor net, and I was hoping you could confirm or deny. Because we're kind of carrying through his I collect black ops, I collect secrets, hobby pastime thing.
Yeah.
And then he turns to Garibaldi, intending to dismiss him. And he's like, so we'll discuss this Stoner fellow later, okay? And she's like, wait a minute, Stoner? Matt Stoner? And they're like, yeah, his name was Matthew. And she's like, oh my God.
God, my ex-husband
He's
is
not,
here.
He's not here on Babylon 5, is he? And they're like, yeah, is that a problem? And do you know him? And she's like, only in the most unpleasant sense. I was married to him. And they do a good job. Talia does a good job, the actress here, of really looking put upon, different whenever Psychor gets brought up in, like, Psychor is interfering in her life on Babylon 5. And they mention this in the trivia, and Peter David mentioned this, which is this is like a momentum thing that has been building since Ironheart.
Yeah.
Is her growing disillusionment with the core.
Yeah.
And her growing suspicion that the core does not have anybody's best interest in mind, but also she is completely trapped and cannot leave.
Right.
Right. And then we immediately go to the intro. So we get the I was married to him, and then the Babylon Project was our last best hopeful piece.
Bum, bum.
Yeah. Yes, bum, bum, bum. And then when we come back into my favorite thing ever, the end of a joke.
Londo delivering the punchline of a joke, and we don't know what the setup is.
Yeah, he's like, and then he says, that's not my leg, that's my air hose. And the entire room laughs because he is holding court for the entire, probably casino. And apparently we reuse this joke, the tail end of this joke, in an episode of Crusade. They come in it and someone's retelling this joke. Nice. And he's like, barkeep, another round for my friends. And it's like zoomed in on his face and you can see everyone in the background. They're like, woo, Londo's the best. And then they cut to his quarters and it's his wife. It's Timov. And Veer is like, oh, he's coming back shortly. I swear. He's probably at a meeting or something. Right. A meeting. A meeting of like-minded individuals. Mm-hmm. And she's like, he drags me out here, gives me no reason why he wants to see me. What's he hiding, Veer? Tell me. I won't bite. And he's like, with all due respect, you actually do. And she's like, okay, fine. That was one time. And he was like, twice. It's twice. She's like, has he told you anything good about me?
What's he hiding, Veer? Tell me. I won't bite, Veer.
With all due respect, madam, that's not what I've heard.
All right. That one time.
It was twice.
What has he told you about me? Anything good?
What is there to tell?
Daguerre! My, what a surprise.
A pleasant one.
I wouldn't go that far.
And this is when Daguerre walks in and she's like, what's there to tell? And Timov is like, Daguerre,
I can
what
just
a surprise.
imagine Veer like, whew, dodge that one.
But also, another bullet has entered the room.
Another shooter has entered the room, but he just needs to get out of the crossfire.
Yeah, and this is when we get the first of many moments where these two actresses get to just chew the scenery together. Mm-hmm. Because she's like, oh my God, what a surprise. And Daguerre goes, a pleasant one? And Timov is like, I wouldn't go that far. Madame Daguerre, my pardons. This is unconscionable. I don't know how I could have missed you. Timov goes, believe me, Veer, if you knew her as I do, you wouldn't miss her a bit. And I said, yes, we get to badinage in this episode. Witty banter. Mm-hmm. She goes, oh, Timov, why do you always draw me into your little verbal fencing matches? And she goes, because I don't have a real sword. I don't have a real sword handy, is what she says.
That's the British comedy sitcom delivery.
Totally.
And then cut.
And then cut, yes. End scene, because done. And then we go to the Earth History exhibit. And Talia is like strumming a guitar. She's like, strumming this guitar thoughtfully. Do they not have guitars anymore? Why is this in a history exhibit? It's a historical
guitar.
Okay. I wonder if it's someone's guitar. Did they just ask people to bring in props? Because in the background, it's a wall of radios. We paused, so you didn't have to. Then there's a guitar, and then there's a milkshake blender on the one podium. And then when they walk into the other room, it says the 20th century. And there's a Centauri statue and some Mimbari triangle bell things. Mm-hmm. Not even related to, maybe it's like what was happening on other planets during our 20th century.
Maybe.
Which I got the city wrong last time. I said San Francisco and I think it's San Diego or the other way around. I don't remember. So I'll just be referring to any California city from here on out as San Andreas, like in Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Oh, San Angeles.
San Angeles. Yep.
Like in Demolition Man, as if they're all one big city.
Yeah.
Which Demolition Man becomes less and less of a comedy as time goes on. The only thing we don't have yet are the 3 shells. Remember the scene where he goes to Taco Bell because every restaurant is Taco Bell?
I've seen some 3D printing projects where people
the 3 shells.
They make a little shelf and put the 3 shells on it.
Yeah.
And put it in your bathroom. And
we need one of the things where when you cuss, it
prints out.
It prints out a ticket.
Yep.
We need one of those. We'd have so many tickets after an episode. I do that because it keeps my mom from listening to our podcasts.
That's why.
Yep. And this is when Sheridan has tracked down Talia, and he's like, hey, you left my office in quite a hurry. We didn't get a chance to talk. And she's like, yeah, I really didn't want to fucking talk about it. So she was literally like, he's my ex-husband, and then she turned tail and ran.
You're the commander. This is none of your business.
Yeah.
And then he has this nice line.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, as station commander, you're correct. This isn't any of my concern. But as one person who sees another person in pain, and that someone is someone I consider a friend or at very least an ally, I just want you to know that I am here and I am willing to listen. And she does this like, oh, where she turns away from the camera. And then we cut to Delenn and Ivanova. Delenn has really, as a character, changed. She's gone from this aloof, stoic, intellectual, apart from type of character to a more emotional, involved, less serious character. And I think this is a two-part transition. I think this is to show that becoming human has made her more emotional.
Yeah.
That it has given her a range of feelings that maybe she's not experienced with.
Yeah.
And also that she is trying to be included. She is trying to...
Right. She's trying to go along with all the other parts of a human transition.
Right.
Beyond just the biological.
Right. That she was just like, okay, I have hair now, so now I'm a Minbari with hair. She's like, okay, I have to become part of the human community. I have to become more human. I have to adjust my behavior or lean into my new feelings so that I can be more human. And so to include this moment is really funny. And I think about this one a lot, actually. Whenever I think about when Delenn becomes human, this pops up in my mind because she calls Ivanova and she's like, come in quickly. So she comes in and she's trying to brush her hair and she's like, this is bullshit.
Commander, I want you to understand. I acquired human characteristics to bring your people and mine closer together, to symbolize our mutuality. It is supposed to be a dignified, inspiring transition for both humans and Minbari. So will you please explain to me why this
Hair.
refuses to cooperate? I had no problems with it at first, but as time passed,
It's pretty brittle. What are you washing it with?
She goes, I want you to understand. I acquired human characteristics to bring your people and mine closer together, to symbolize our mutuality. It's supposed to be a dignified, inspiring transition for both humans and Minbari. So will you please explain to me why this, and Ivanova's like, hair? And she's like, yes, refuses to cooperate.
I'm doing everything I was supposed to do and nothing's working.
And she's like, wow, it's really brittle. What are you washing it with? And she's like, washing. He goes, when you bathe. She goes, oh, no, we use a chemical compound that strips away the outer layer of our epidermal tissue. It's symbolic of being reborn every day. And she's like, okay, wait, so you've been doing that to your hair? Yes.
No wonder.
She's like, have you considered immersing your body in water to remove sweat? And she's like, we don't sweat like you do. Actually, when we sleep, we secrete a fluid. She's like, I'm going to stop you right there.
Maybe she didn't sweat like humans, but now
I think the
she does.
implication is she still doesn't because she's still cleansing herself the same way, so it must still feel effective. So she must be stripping whatever fluid it is that they secrete, but also from her hair, which isn't secreting anything except, anyway. She goes, do you know what to do? And she's like, well, yeah, my mother used to do my hair. So, like, I guess I can, it wouldn't be that hard to figure out how to wash somebody else's hair. She's like, this is most embarrassing. If you could just, and Ivanova's like, I kind of have duties. Like, I
have a job.
I got shit to do. And she's like, please, I trust you. She can't have it getting out that she didn't know what to do with her hair.
Right.
Right. And Ivanova's like,
just YouTube it.
Okay, so she just YouTube it, Roger. So then she pulls up her thing and she's like, CNC, unless there's an emergency, I may be a while. And then she like reaches out and grabs a piece of her hair and she goes, oh boy. And then we cut.
I wonder if this was Mira Furlan's actual hair or if this was a wig.
With how hard she is yanking it, it's probably her hair. Because she is really hauling ass on that hair when she's really tugging at it with the brush.
Yeah.
And then we come back and it's Talia talking to Sheridan. And she's giving him the rundown of how she ended up married to Matt Stoner. And she basically tells him that, you know, during your first year of training at Psychor Academy, this isn't when she first arrived when she was 5 and she got the lady who stole
nice
her
to her
emotions from her.
Psychically massaged her.
She's like, you're assigned an advanced trainee who oversees your development. And Matt was mine. And he was charming and sympathetic. And, you know, understand that the things that I learned to do for Psychor were and are difficult. And Matt made that easier. And
At first.
Then the Corps decided that we were genetically compatible and that the odds of us producing a child of great telepathic abilities were substantial. And then we were married. It all happened so fast. Just long enough to realize it was a mistake. And then Sheridan's like, okay, but like from what I turned up, he's not in the Corps. And she's like, yeah, he left. Shortly after, Psychor had the marriage annulled. I thought the only way anyone left Psychor was feet first, is what Sheridan says. And she goes, the awkwardest of chuckles. Like,
right.
Yeah. Correct.
On a gurney.
Yeah. She's like, Matt had connections. He had, I don't know what he had. And no one in authority wanted to talk about it.
I wonder if he used his new abilities to coerce.
Oh, no, they let him go so that it wouldn't be obvious that he had changed.
But I wonder how much of that, like, easing him out was him manipulating them into doing it.
I mean, they must have, because they literally just fucking cut him loose.
Right.
He gone. They didn't, like, transfer him to a
no
secret
constraints,
facility.
right?
They could have imprisoned him, contained him in some way to study how it happened.
Yep.
And instead, he's freeballing. He's rolling around the countryside doing whatever he wants to do until he needs them, and then they show up.
Right.
So it doesn't really make sense that someone this powerful is just free.
Right. It would make more sense if they had made him some kind of covert agent and, you know, officially cut ties with him.
Yeah.
But he's doing missions for them. But as far as we can tell, he's just fucking around doing what he wants.
Right.
Not doing jobs for the Psychor, unless he's doing things so obtusely tied to the Psychor. They're just, you know, they're playing 5D chess or something.
Yeah.
With him as their pawn.
I think it's just supposed to be another, ha ha he he, look how evil Psychor is.
Yeah.
And look how much they manipulate Talia's life.
Yeah.
And how imprisoned she is by them. And how willing they are to just use somebody.
Right.
Because they sent him there to either get her back or control her into being with him.
Yeah.
One or the other, both were fine. As long as they ended up having kids, who gives a shit? Which is a violation on a level it would be hard to describe. Not only are you with someone you don't actually want to be with, but they force you to believe you want to be with them. That would be awful. It was already awful that she was forced to marry this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Which means Psychor is a little bit inbred.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me again of the Worthing Saga by Orson Scott Card, where there's that one character who's slightly psychic. Like, he's psychic, but he's not like crazy psychic.
But he's the most powerful psychic around.
Right. So he has a bunch of kids, and then he's like, okay, y'all, make more babies. And then he goes to sleep for like 1,000 years. And when he wakes up, they're like super powerful because they're so inbred that they've like concentrated the psychic ability.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually control the rest of the universe. It's interesting.
It's a lot.
Yeah, a lot. And this is when Jakar is talking to Sheridan. They're walking through the Zocalo. We get the clip. Actually, in this episode, we use the bazaar clip from the intro and from the very first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was the Zocalo, it's just the bazaar. And so they're walking through the bazaar / Zocalo. And Jakar goes, oh, how are you settling in? You've been here for a while. And Sheridan goes, why does everyone keep asking that? And Jakar's like, oh, it's just,
Which is a nice running joke.
It's polite interest. And he's like, I'm sorry, I guess I'm reading too much into it, but people seem to be implying that I shouldn't get too comfortable. And I love this line so much because Jakar goes, oh, nonsense. It's not as if anyone expects you to vanish overnight under mysterious circumstances to a strange Minbari post. Why, that would be unprecedented.
And Andreas kills the line.
Of course he fucking does.
Sorry, I guess I'm reading too much into it, but people seem to be implying that I shouldn't get too comfortable.
Oh, nonsense. It's not as if anyone expects you to, vanish overnight under mysterious circumstances to a strange Minbari post. Why, that would be unprecedented in the station's history.
I get the message, Ambassador.
Do you? I still don't understand what that was all about. Something's going on, if you ask me.
He's like, okay, I get the message, Ambassador. And he's like, do you? Because I still don't know what that was about. Something's going on, if you ask me. He's like, and it gives me a pain right here. And he like rubs his temples.
Yep. Whenever things are going on that he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot like Garibaldi.
Yes. But this is his like, oh, that's why my head hurts sometimes because it's too much for my brain. And this is when Londo shows up and he's like, my good Captain Sheridan.
He's in too good of a mood.
All settled in. Sheridan goes, all settled, Ambassador. My dear Jakar, how are you this glorious day? We're in a space station, Ambassador. One day is much like another. He's like, my friend, it's very much subject to your point of view. And from my point of view, this is a glorious day. And then he keeps walking and he turns around and he's like, actually, Jakar, you look fucking great today. You have a great day. And that's when Jakar's
whatever
like,
you're doing, keep it up.
Jakar goes, oh no, yeah. He like lifts his arms like, like he's working out. He's like, yeah, keep it up. He's like, oh my God. He just grabs his head and runs off.
When Londo is complimenting Jakar knows something is going on.
Do you think this is him being like, I know that you look great because you fucked my wife last night? That's where my wife went first because Marielle doesn't show up.
That's why it takes Marielle so long to show up. Yeah.
I mean, it could be.
Or she was arranging something with the artifact.
Something was happening because she doesn't show up until like the next day.
Right.
Even though they theoretically all arrived on the same transit.
Yep.
And then we go to Veer and the wives. And Veer's like, can I get you anything? And they're like, yeah, you can get me out of here. Who does Londo think he is? And Daguerre's like, he probably thinks he's our husband. And that we, as dutiful wives, will wait with breathless anticipation for his arrival. Is that not right, Veer? And Veer's like, well, actually, it's, this poor Veer is just a vehicle. He's not even in this because they're chewing the scenery again together. Because Timoff is like, you are joking, Daguerre. Seriously? He thinks we're his dutiful wives? Fucking right. Your problem, Timoff, is that you never have known your place. My place, you once threatened to break a vase over his head. And she's like, that was the impetuousness of youth. And she's like, that's last month. Because Daguerre clearly knows something that Timoff doesn't know. Because Daguerre is politic. Timoff is not.
Right.
She does not keep up with that stuff. And then Londo rolls in.
Right.
She's
and
like,
Daguerre is suspiciously attentive.
Yes. Oh, yes. Which is why Timoff's like, what the fuck is going on? You don't even like him.
Yeah.
He's like, here you are finally. Where have you been? And he's like, affairs of state, my dear. And she goes,
state of inebriation.
State of inebriation, I'd wager.
Daguerre, what are you playing at?
Well, and here you are.
And here you are, finally. Where have you been?
Affairs of state, my dear.
State of inebriation, I'd wager.
Londo, you're looking fit. More handsome than I would have remembered.
Oh, well.
What's going on here? Londo, what's all this about?
Londo, you're looking fit. That's Daguerre. She's like, Peter must have been loving this because he has these gorgeous older women just fawning over him for the whole episode being like, oh, you're so handsome. You're so nice. Oh, you feel so muscular. This is so lovely. This is when Timoff is like, what is going on? What is this all about? And he goes, oh, you don't know?
He's trying to say, let's wait for everybody to be here.
Well, first he's like, oh, there is a reason.
Repeat myself.
First he's like, oh, there is a reason. You don't know what? You don't know it? Oh, I'm surprised you don't know it, but I'll wait. I won't tell you until Marielle gets here. And they're like, I don't know. She was supposed to be here, but she didn't show up at customs.
I love Timoff's line. The secret of our marriage's success, Londo, is our lack of communication.
And you have jeopardized that success, and I would know why. And he's like, okay, fine. I was going to save the surprise, but clearly you've forgotten that tomorrow is the 30th anniversary of my Ascension Day. It is? He's like, yeah, the Emperor has not forgotten.
Do we have more context on what Ascension Day is? That like coming of age?
I think it's when you get your first political posting, when you enter the realm of politics.
Okay.
Maybe when you get your first job, basically.
When you become officially part of the gentry.
Yeah, like you're coming out or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm now in play.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I personally received a congratulatory note from the royal court because the emperor didn't forget. My star is rising, in case you were unaware. And we play all this for laughs, but everyone take a minute and remember why his star is rising.
Because he caused a lot of people to die.
At this point, he has committed war crimes. Yep. Like war crimes.
Yep. Crimes against sentience.
Yes. And Timoff is like, oh, yeah, no, I was unaware. I don't actually give a shit. I have little patience for the vagaries of politics and social climbing. That's more Daguerre's field of endeavor. And he's like, okay, anyway, so the emperor is a busy fellow, and he had no time to shop. Unlike my beloved wives, who always have fucking time to shop and use my fucking credit cards. And Veer goes,
Poor Veer.
His little chuckle.
Poor Veer.
He goes, in any event, he wished to gift me in honor of my service to our people. And he told me he would give me anything that it was in his power to grant. And you know what my wish was? A fucking divorce. A fucking divorce. An easement from my arranged marriages to my 3 wives. And he's like, but he did request that I keep one of you by my side for future state affairs. So by tomorrow, I will choose one of the 3 of you to remain my wives. And the other 2 will be gone. He even does a maniacal laugh. He's
I would not be surprised if he already knows who he's going to keep.
Oh, yeah.
He just wants to watch them squirm.
He just wants to see what they'll do to try to keep him. Yeah, I don't know that he knew any of them was going to try to kill him or anything. He's like, gone. You'll receive no further money beyond the vast amounts of my savings you've already diverted to other accounts. You'll have no title. You'll have no privileges to which you've become accustomed.
A small repayment for the many years of joy you've given me.
Yes. And then we have a commercial break. We don't actually change scene, but it goes to dark and then comes back, which is a commercial break. And Timoff is like, you knew about this? You knew? And Daguerre's like, oh no, I've been caught totally unawares. I assure you. And then she turns to Londo and goes, petulant, isn't she? Oh, well, breeding will tell. And Timoff goes, a bitch like you would know about breeding. It's the best line.
You knew about this. You knew.
Oh, my dear. I've been caught completely unawares, I assure you. Petulant, isn't she? Well, breeding will tell.
A bitch like you would know about breeding.
Oh, ladies, please. Continue. Beer, if you wouldn't mind.
So British sitcom.
Peter was like, Peter David, the writer. I have to keep qualifying that. Was like, oh no, I didn't get that past the censors. I just put bitch in there and hoped. Oh my God, she delivers this so perfectly. A bitch like you would know about breeding. And Londo's like, oh no, ladies, please, continue.
Continue.
And then there's a knock at the door that it rings. And he doesn't even go. They're standing next to each other, but he's like, Veer, answer the door. So Veer's like, oh, okay. So he goes over and opens it. And the best part about this is the shitty lace curtain that's hanging over his door. It looks like every 90s house that we've moved into has had some variation of this curtain.
Yeah.
Like the crappy rayon lace curtain with fringe on the edge of it. Oh, I knew what they were going for. They're going for like opulence over the topness. But at the same time, I was like, oh, my God, look at the curtain. And it's just Marielle. As soon as she walks in, the music changes. It's like the sexy music from Born to the Purple. And she's like, hello, Londo, miss me? And he's like, yes. And then we go back to the bazaar, or the Zocalo. And it is Punchable Stoner talking to Lurch, who has a name. He's just the trader.
Right.
But he might as well just be Lurch, which I don't actually think I've heard him be in anything where he has a line.
Right. Yeah, I was surprised at his voice.
He's from the Netherlands.
Okay. Lots of tall people there.
Yeah, and he's like, so you want to tell me what you think it's worth? And he just tosses it down. He goes, opening bid or final offer? Like, but I don't understand. He's like, are you here to trade or simply waste my time? And this is when he pulls out the Centauri artifacts, the Centauri like statue thing, and we zoom in on its face. Like, look at its face.
It's Centauri.
Look at its face. And then they zoom back out. And he's like, oh, wow, I've seen some, but none like this before. Care to tell me how you got it? That's Garibaldi who rolls up. And he's like, oh, really? What is that? Where'd that come from?
Garibaldi harassing the populace.
Well, he's harassing this guy in particular because Talia, he has feelings for Talia. And he may not be able to act on them, but she is at the very least what he considers a friend.
Yeah.
And if we know anything about Garibaldi, it's that he goes completely unhinged anytime he feels like a friend is threatened.
Yeah.
And I guess somebody was like, wow, thank you for showing us a different side of Garibaldi to the writer. And the writer was like, oh, I didn't. It's always been there. If you pay attention. He's always threatening harm to anyone who hurts his friends.
Yeah.
And Talia is his friend. So he's immediately like, I will take care of this. I will do what I do best.
He just doesn't mind using his position, his authority.
No,
to throw some muscle around to protect his friends.
That's his job.
Right.
Something is up with this guy. He needs to figure out what it is. And the more uncomfortable he can make him, the more likely he is to do something stupid.
Yeah.
So he rolls up and he's like, after all, I wouldn't want to think someone on Babylon 5 was dealing in stolen goods. And Stoner's like, I'm sorry, who are you? And he's like, oh, I'm Garibaldi, head of security. And this is when Stoner goes, so if I'm feeling secure, hugging you will make me feel better?
And you are?
Garibaldi, head of security.
Oh, so if I'm feeling insecure, hugging you will make me feel better.
I would also punch him. That line. And he's like, oh, wait, anyway, here's certification of my participation in an authorized dig. Here's the list of contents. You'll find this little item listed among them. It was quite legitimate, officer. And then he goes, I can help you with the big words if you're having trouble. We don't have a lot of experience with other Psi Corps members. We've met Bester. And then we really met Talia, briefly Lita, and then like Ironheart. And that's pretty much it. So we don't really get a good handle on what other Psi Corps are like, but every time we do, they're incredibly arrogant.
Yes.
So you get the sense that Talia maybe is not like the others. Like maybe that's why Talia is here and not in a more prestigious posting.
Right.
Because she's not as I'm better than everybody else as every other Psi Corps member that we've met. Although, like he said last time, like Sheridan said last time, Psi Corps is made up of people. And people are all different. But Matthew Stoner in particular is a raging asshole. And Garibaldi is like, yeah, I fucking hate you. And he goes, okay, well, he's assessing its value. Why don't you and I have a little chat in private? And the immediate animosity between these two actors is just...
Yes. Chemistry.
Good.
Boom.
Oh, good. Great. Perfect. Love it. And this is when Lanier rolls in to talk to Delenn, and Ivanova's still there. And he's like, oh, hey, Ambassador, we received an invitation to... She's like,
Her
yes,
hair's all in
Her hair's
curlers.
in curlers. And he's like, oh, a celebration for Ambassador Malari, the 30th anniversary of his ascension. And Ivanova's like, okay, is that significant? And Delenn goes, for a Centauri? Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, hell yeah. It's like the most important thing to them, their ascension into power.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, Linear, we will accept, of course. And he's like, great, I'll tell him. And she's like, yeah, what? And he's like, is that painful? 'Cause she's got her hair in rollers. And she goes, actually, it's oddly relaxing. And she does. She looks like, that was really lovely. I got my hair washed and got my hair did and I got my hair put up in rollers. It's so nice. And it's a cute moment. It's a cute Ivanova, Delenn, and Linear bonding moment where they're all figuring this shit out together. And they're an honor culture.
Mm-hmm.
So asking for help would be huge.
Right.
And then we go back to Stoner and Garibaldi because he's interrogating him alone, which he knows full well this guy clearly has some shit going on where he's able to manipulate people. You'd think he'd have had somebody else come in with him.
Yeah, although Garibaldi seems to be resistant to it.
I just don't think he tries. I don't think he cares what Garibaldi feels or doesn't feel.
Yeah.
And he's like, you've been fairly busy, haven't you, Mr. Stoner? Records have you all over the place? Are you perhaps involved in some shady dealings? What's going on with you? And he's like, hey, do you treat everyone who comes to Babylon 5 like this? Or is this personal?
Personal.
And he's like, yeah, Talia Winters is a friend of mine. And Matt Stoner's like, oh my God, is she here? It's the weirdest thing. Small galaxy, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's not even trying to actually play dumb.
Oh no, he's like, oh my God, so weird. And Garibaldi goes, are you really going to tell me you didn't know? And he's like, oh, did she tell you all about me? No? Would you like me to tell you all about her? This part is gross. It's so, if you wanted me to think this guy's a creepy asshole, congratulations. I now believe he is I thought he was before.
Accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Yep.
Apparently at the end of this, it was so charged, like they were so at each other that the director forgot to yell cut and just went, oh my God, you guys, great job. And that was so good. Because he goes on, he's like, do you want to know what she likes to hear or where she likes to be touched? And Garibaldi's like, just fucking don't. Like, you're being gross right now. This isn't, fucking stop. He's like, the little noises she makes, does she cry out or sigh softly? Can you imagine? Not only, because when we had the Ironheart episode, we had Talia break down telepathic sex for us and how you connect on a level that you can't otherwise. And it's literally like two souls touching each other.
Yeah.
And it's the one time when you can't hear anything else.
Right.
And then you're asked to do that with somebody gross.
Mm-hmm.
How much more of a violation that would feel like.
Yeah.
Than even just normal arranged marriage. I'm not really into this. And then that guy is this guy where he's like, do you want me to tell you what she's like in bed? And Garibaldi's like, fucking stop it. You're gross. And he's like, okay, well, any more questions? He literally tells him to shut up. He's like, I thought you wanted us to talk. Make up your mind, officer. Or am I free to go? And Garibaldi's like, if I hear from Talia that you've harassed her in any way, I will kill you so fast. I will space you so fast, you'll think you were born in a vacuum.
Which is quite a threat.
Yeah. He's like, I'll be keeping an eye on you. And he goes, oh, well, use 2 eyes. You're going to need them. And then leaves. As lighthearted as the rest of the episode is with Londo and his wives, Matt Stoner fully makes up for it by just making his part so gross.
Yeah.
I can't get over it. It's the worst. Probably because I'm in the middle of rereading one of the Sarah J. Maas books for Feast, Sheath, and Shatter, and I just got to the part where she confronts like the guy that she's with in the very first book, and he pulls this exact same bullshit where he's like, don't you like that sound she makes or whatever? And it's just like the weird, it's just so proprietary.
Yeah.
Like, I know I know things about her that you don't know because you clearly haven't been with her. And it's like, that's not even what Garibaldi is in this for.
Right.
He's doing this because she's his friend. Would he like to be with her? Yeah, probably. But he doesn't objectify her in the same way. And then for this guy it's not even just the implication that he's had something that Garibaldi hasn't. It's the objectification of Talia.
Mm-hmm.
And that this guy got away with it and continues to get away with it.
Yeah.
And that his presence on this station is hurting Talia, even if it's just emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing he can do about it.
Yeah.
And that guy knows it. And it's a lot. And then we immediately go back to Sheridan walking through the Zocalo, and Mario walks up. And she's like, hey.
Oh, I got lost.
I seem to have gotten separated during a tour my husband was giving. And he's like, oh, are you one of Ambassador Malari's wives? And I do like the young, hot wife bait and switch.
Yeah.
Where everything in you thinks Londo would keep the young, hot wife.
And I think he cultivates that reputation.
Yeah. That he would keep the one that he would actually be physically interested in.
Right.
As opposed to the one where he's like, oh, no, I kept you because I know exactly where I stand with you.
Yeah.
You never lied to me. It's like, I heard you were here. I'm Captain Sheridan. And she's like, I am. And then Londo pops up and he's like, Mariel, there you are.
Watch out, Captain.
Making new friends again.
Again.
And then he pulls Captain Sheridan aside and he's like, a minute.
What? Watch that one.
She will literally fuck anybody who has any kind of power. So just keep an eye out, okay? And he's like, oh, okay.
I should have warned you. I'm sorry.
Give him a brief on his wives before everybody shows up. Do not talk to them. Do not make eye contact.
Yeah, and then Stoner greets Talia with, hello, Puddin'.
Yeah, gross. Gross. I did have one more part in this because he's like, you have those creatures attracted to flames on Earth. And he's like, yeah, moths. And he's like, Marielle is drawn to men of power in the same way. And I have to wonder, is one penis a disappointment?
That would be interesting.
Well, we didn't really get a breakdown of how it works, except that there are slits on their back that
the penis is going to
go into.
So how would a human mate with a Centauri woman?
Or is that just like to hold them in place? To like pin them so you can use the actual whatever. Yeah, how would it work? That's what I want to know is like, the implication is that they're not necessarily, how you receive pleasure could be different. So
right.
When you're with someone who's not your race, it's not about procreation anyway. So it would just be about figuring out what feels good for each other.
Yeah.
Which is the thing I'm sure everyone is hoping we're going to talk about right now, but I'm leaving it. I'm going to drop it. But I just wanted to point out they're going from like 6 or 7. I think it's 6 to 1. Okay. Well, it would have to be about power.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Matthew Stoner pops up. Hello, Puddin'. Glad to see me. And she's like, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. Actually, she doesn't say anything. And he's like, not one word for your ex, not one syllable. And she's like, why are you here?
Yeah. And he's setting her up for a pitch.
Yeah. He's like, oh, baby, you never did believe in coincidence. We had something once, Talia. And she's like, no, you had something, not we. It was never about me. And it's nothing I want a part of, not anymore.
She had a parasite in her life.
You. He's like, oh, I'll just add that to the list of things you don't want to be a part of, like Psychor.
Bum bum.
This is when you hope he's actually manipulating Psychor, because otherwise Psychor is well aware that Talia is drifting away from them.
That's a good point. Or he may know, but I guess he would probably tell Psychor.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe they were just like, get her back at any means, by any means necessary.
And it could have even been a him thing. He wants her back. And Psychor's like, sure, we'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go. You can have your little expedition to serendipitously show up at Babylon 5. And sure, like, pitch her to come back here, whatever you need to do.
Maybe they're hoping she will get the treatment he got, which is what he offers her.
Right.
And that she will end up an empath like him. And that then when they have children, their children will be empaths.
Yeah.
And that's probably what they're hoping for, is just
that would be the best case scenario.
using his prior relationship with her to manipulate her into breeding with him, basically.
Yeah. And he may just be winging it on how to convince her.
Yeah. Using what he thinks works, which is his douchebaggery.
Yeah.
Like, this is such incel behavior. This is so, like, red pill behavior. The, like, the dudes that are like, you have to tell a woman what you want, or you have to, women want you to be controlling.
A relationship with a female is purely transactional.
Well, they need to respect you.
Right.
If you don't boss them around, they don't respect you.
Having a successful relationship with a woman is them being subservient.
Right, correct. Yeah, that bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's what this feels like.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I forgot. Anyone who's telepathic can't leave. And she's like, yeah, except you. And he's like, I bet you'd love to find out how I did it, wouldn't you? How I got out. And she's like, yeah, I guess fine. And he's like, oh, anyone can. All you have to do is lose your telepathic abilities. And this is where I was like, but we already established he has them. I don't know if this is to make him more of a liar, to make him seem more smarmy. Well, we had to have something set Garibaldi off.
Right.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, that's all? That's it? Okay, fucking great. Whatever. And he's like, well, I did it. They have no hold on me, and I could arrange for them to have no hold on you either. You'd be out of Psychor, Talia. You'd be free, and we could be together. And I wonder if he's manipulating her, because I think it's not just that he's an empath, which implies he can read emotions, but that he can actually manipulate emotions.
I think that's why Talia is rude to Garibaldi in the next scene.
Yeah.
Is because he's already starting to manipulate her.
Yeah. And then she apologizes.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I don't know what happened.
After she's reflected and been like, I don't know what was going on.
Yeah. Because he pops up and he's like, Talia, I spoke to your ex-husband and I warned him off. So if he bothers you at all, and she's like, fucking stay out of this. This isn't about you. And he's like, I kind of feel it is. And she's like, then feel differently. And she swats his hand off and then lets the tube close. Which was like, oh, okay. That was a charged moment between the two of them.
Yeah.
And you got to feel bad for Garibaldi, because he really does have feelings for Talia, but has no idea how to express them.
Right.
Because it must feel so alien. Like, if all of your experience with Psychor is that they're assholes, and then there's this one Psychor woman that you love, or that you feel like you're falling in love with, and she's different from the other Psychor, but how different could she possibly be? And plus, he's not very good at expressing himself anyway. It's a very sticky situation for him. And then we cut to Londo, because you know what this situation needed? Comedic relief.
Yeah.
Because Londo is sitting at his desk doing some work, and the doorbell rings. And he's like, enter. And I think it's Marielle. And Marielle's in her, like, sexy times outfit.
Yeah.
And she's like, Londo, I'm not like the others. You know that. I've always been giving, passionate. God, goodness knows I've been passionate.
So passionate.
And this is when his other wife pops out of the bedroom. Daguerre. And she's like, and how many opportunities have you taken for your compassion, or for comparison?
For comparison.
I think Londo says that. He's like, oh, really? Have you compare, how many other males have you compared me to? And she's like, there's been no one but you, I swear.
Londo. I promise.
And I think you'll find out there's no one for you but me. And that's when Daguerre pops out. And she's like, let's let Londo decide that for himself.
Out of the bedroom.
Both of us together. If it pleases Londo, it pleases me. And Londo goes, oh, no, this isn't right. Timoff should be here too. And Timoff pops out and she's like, do you seriously expect me to become involved in your sexual Olympics?
Let's let Londo decide that for himself.
Both of us. Together?
If it pleases Londo, it pleases me.
No, this isn't right. Timov should be here too.
Do you seriously expect me to become involved in your sexual Olympics?
They're merely expressing their feelings for me.
I can do that.
You haven't changed.
You have. You've devolved.
And he's like, they're merely expressing their feelings for me. She goes, oh, I can do that. And then slaps him.
I like the implication that Londo and Daguerre were in Londo's bedroom.
Yeah.
And then Timov was in his apartment, like in a different room.
Yeah.
And then Mariel comes in thinking, oh, Londo's alone.
And Timov is like, she slaps him. She's like, oh, I can express my emotions. Baboosh! And smacks him across the face. And she goes, you haven't changed. He says, you haven't changed. And she goes, oh, but you have. You've devolved. And then end scene. So British. I love it. And this is when Garibaldi is in his quarters. And there's a giant poster of Daffy Duck on the wall. And a little classic TV, a little like
CRT
vintage
screen.
CRT TV. And Talia has come to his room to apologize. And she's like, I was rude to you yesterday. And I thought that, I should come say I'm sorry. And he's like, you know what? Actually, it's really no problem. Like, I get it. It's fine. You course corrected me. It's fine.
Right.
She goes, I just wanted everything settled between us since it's likely I'll be leaving Babylon 5. And he's like, oh, are you getting reassigned? And she's like, oh, no, I'm leaving with Matt. Yeah. And he's like, I'm sorry, what? And this is when she's like casually explaining that they were experimenting on him and that it almost killed him.
And that's how he got out.
And that it actually changed him so he couldn't use his telepathic ability anymore. And that she's going to do that. He can replicate it. He can bathtub gin her out of her telepathic abilities. Because he's like, oh yeah, I can replicate the treatment. How? How can he replicate the treatment without Psychor? Does he have a bag full of drugs? What is he going to do? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And Garibaldi's like, I'm sorry. What?
And this is where you should really start to get suspicious that he's already
working on her,
exerting some control over her.
Yeah, because Garibaldi goes, are you crazy, Talia? And she goes, no, I'm tired. I'm tired of learning things about people I don't want to know. I'm tired of having them shrink away because of what I might find out. I'm tired of being part of an organization that scares the hell out of me. And I know that part of this is Matt Stoner, but I think a lot of this is also Talia and him just playing up what she's actually afraid of.
Yep. He knows her intimately enough to know how to pitch things to like cooperate with the feelings she already has.
Right. And it's a lot. This is a moment that we're going to come back to soonish.
Yeah.
And have a lot to discuss. And then we cut to Mariel buying the statue.
Okay, so I'm wondering about this whole plan where Mariel bought this statue from the guy in the market.
Yeah.
Did Mariel arrange with Stoner to bring the artifact?
The implication.
Right, but I guess we don't get details about Mariel coordinating with Stoner ahead of time.
It may have been something like he gets those artifacts from an abandoned Centauri colony.
Right.
And the reason that it was abandoned was because the Narn sabotaged the colony and left behind a bunch. And so there's a bunch of...
I wonder if she found out that Stoner was going to be in this sector.
Well, what I think it was...
no, she found out Londo was going to divorce her or divorce two of them. And so she reached out to some contacts and Although I can't imagine the shadows would want Londo dead because he's cooperating with them.
If I had to guess, underhanded methods of eliminating people that are in your way in the Centauri society is probably big business.
Yeah.
So I'm sure all he had to do was go to this colony.
Ooh.
Wait, where he knew that there were booby traps, possible booby traps, gather them, and then let it be known on the black market that he had them available. And then all she would have to do is send a message that was like, can you go to Babylon 5? Sell it to this guy. I'll buy it from him. That's how we'll do the transfer.
I wonder if Stoner was on the transport with the 3 wives.
Well, he must have been because he got off with them.
Yeah, he was there at the same time.
So I think it suited his purposes. It may even have been a group of people that had these. And so they were like, hey, Stoner, you take it to Babylon 5, and then you'll have an excuse to be there.
Yeah.
And it will seem more like a coincidence to Talia that you're there, unless like you went there directly for her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he's like, you never did believe in coincidences.
Yeah.
So I have we don't really like lay it out, but it was probably more like he let it be known that these things were available.
Yeah, and it was probably an opportunistic thing where she realized, oh, you have this artifact that's a booby trap.
Yeah.
I want it, but we need to come up with a way for me to acquire it without any suspicion.
It's probably one of those things where it's like, you know, a guy and you're like, hey, I want to kill someone then, or I want to get someone out of my way. And they're like, okay, go ahead and go to Babylon 5. I'll send you details. And then sends her a message that's like, go get it. She may have even given it to him to sell to the guy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then her contacts would have helped forge the archaeology certificate.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it didn't matter, but it was like a window of time when Stoner needed to get there. It didn't matter particularly when. Mm-hmm. So he could have come. He could have been there specifically for Marielle, but it was on his to-do list to go there and try to get Talia anyway.
Yeah.
Or he may have been going there and realized Talia was there and then arranged the whole thing with Psychor. Who knows what order everything happened in. Right. What matters is it happens and whatever. Whatever. You can't really dive that deeply into it because we don't have that much time. So it's fine. And he's like, are you serious? You're really going to do that? And that's how we leave that. Sorry. Let me go back. Get back into where we were. And then we cut to Ivanova talking to Sheridan. And she's giving him a rundown on what's kind of currently maybe possibly happening. Trying to maybe stay ahead of it. Like they were not ahead of the whole Drazi thing. And so now we're trying to stay ahead of everything because she's like, yeah, the Markabs have just started their fasting. And unfortunately, they sneak food when other Markabs aren't looking. And that can lead to a scuffle. So, I'll let security know. Keep a weather eye out. There may be some conflicts. And she's like, already done. I did it. It's all done. Lastly, there's a party.
Oh, I was going to say the Below Decks episode related to this is Ivanova has a team of anthropologists who are like her cultural consultants.
Just holy days and potential conflicts related to them?
Yeah, here's the potential problems that could arise.
Right.
Upcoming of special events.
And lastly, there's a party honoring Ambassador Malari's Day of Ascension tonight, and all attendees must be barefoot. He's like, barefoot? Yeah, barefoot. And then we cut to the party with a giant fucking painting of Londo. Did he keep this? Does Peter Jurczyk have this? Is it in his living room? I really hope it is. I hope somebody kept this because somebody put work into this shit.
Yes. Yeah, somebody hand painted this.
And Jakar shows up wearing shoes. And they're like, wow, wearing shoes, Ambassador. You are aware of the level of insult that represents? And he's like, oh, is it? Do you take offense? That would be amazing. And Londo goes, oh, no, not at all. Nothing is too good for my esteemed
in too good of a mood.
Narn colleague. And he just goes, oh, grabs his head.
Headache again.
And he's like, I love doing that to him. And this is when Garibaldi.
And Delenn.
Delenn, yeah. And he's like, oh, Ambassador, you look really great. And she's like, thank you, Garibaldi. You don't.
You look soul sick.
Yeah. You actually look, yeah, there's some shit going on. And he's like, you know what's funny?
Your aura is really hazy. Let me, can I clean that
Starts
for you?
plucking around his head. He's like, you know what's funny? I met this woman and I took to her immediately. And then I met this guy who had hurt her. And instantly I just fucking hated him. And she's like, well, you know, we Minbari believe, as do some humans, that souls travel together. And she doesn't just use this in a like relationship to soulmates like love, but in like there are groups of souls that are drawn together, life after life, to relive good relationships, to make bad relationships right. And Garibaldi's like, okay, so I have like a soul sewing circle that gets together every lifetime. And she's like, I mean, a little bit. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And I really liked that take. I don't know that we necessarily, you and I have had this discussion a fair number of times because fated mates pops up a lot.
Yeah.
In some of the books that I read with Kate and Hannah. And so I know, don't like the concept of fated mates.
Oh, yeah. Anytime someone calls us fated mates, I respond with, nope, chosen mates. We chose each other. It wasn't foretold and inevitable.
So let me set the scene.
That removes our agency.
Let me set the scene. The year is 2004. In an effort to make friends, I go to the Baptist Student Lock-In, Baptist Student Union Lock-In during my first week in college. And we were each given a magazine and some paper plates and told to cut out pictures and glue them to the paper plates and then explain how those relate to who we are as people.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this kind of nerdy, kind of cute guy who's in my group, and he cuts out, I think, Lord of the Rings and like one other picture and just glues them haphazardly on this plate.
And colors the whole thing orange.
I had just dyed my hair and I was wearing a Legend of Zelda t-shirt that had hair dye on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd brought the Wizard of Earthsea and my magic cards to the Baptist Student Union. And I'll give you two guesses who the guy who painted or colored his plate orange was. And you were like, I put Lord of the Rings on here because I like Lord of the Rings. And then I colored it orange because my favorite color is orange. And then I forget why you asked me. Or maybe I had Magic the Gathering.
You had your cards out.
Yeah.
And you were going through them, and
you drove half an hour home to get your cards and come back, and then I whomped you because I had an elf deck and you had an artifact deck.
Yeah.
And my deck was really fast, and yours required a lot of build-up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I defeated you. And then I was reading Wizard of Earthsea before I went to bed, and you were like, I really like that book too. And anyway, then we were best friends because I had a boyfriend at the time. So we were friends for like a whole semester.
Yeah.
And so we really got to know each other. You came over and watched movies with me. You came and ate lunch with me every day and took my tray you bussed the table for me every day. And it was like really fun. I'm glad we had that chance to get to know each other. I made you a pair of orange fleece pants and you wore them a lot. Bright orange fleece pants. And then I ended up breaking up with my boyfriend, but he told me we could break up only if I didn't date Matt.
He knew.
How did that work out for you? I was like, you don't get to dictate that. I'm pretty sure that's not your business. And then I went to your house for New Year's, and then we were dating, and we've been dating since 2005.
Yep.
And so I feel like I connected with you instantly, but not in like a fated mate, like the mating bond snapped into place or anything, but in like a, wow, I think I could be really good friends with this guy.
So on that note, I had a reel saved for Rachel the other day, and it was this lady doing like stand-up. And she talks about the Tupperware analogy for dating, where if you have an odd-shaped Tupperware, like a star-shaped Tupperware container, it's really easy to find the matching star-shaped lid for that star-shaped Tupperware. But if you're like a square or a rectangle Tupperware, the lids, a lot of lids look like they could match. And that's why weird people get married really early and have their weird Tupperware happily ever after. But then the square or rectangle shaped Tupperware has a really hard time finding their particular match, a lid that would match with them really well. And so Rachel and I recognized the weird in each other as compatible, and we chose each other.
Yes.
It wasn't fated, it was
it's not like we got together and it was
being aware and kind of open to the options.
Yeah, well, it's not like we got together and then it was like, and done. I mean, a bit, but also like we've gone through a lot of shit together.
Yep.
A lot. And we made it. And I think in the end, you keep choosing each other.
Yeah.
And that's what matters. And now we have a podcast. We talk to each other. We started the podcast because I realized we weren't talking about anything but kids and work anymore.
Yeah.
And so it's almost 3 years now. In November, it'll be 3 years we've been podcasting, where we sit down intentionally every week and have long, drawn-out conversations with each other.
Sometimes multiple times a week. And we watch movies and TV shows together.
Yeah.
And read books.
It's good. I'm glad we did it. I love you, honey.
I love you, honey.
Everyone's like, gross. But I do, so I don't necessarily think soulmates is where we're going with this, but I do like the concept of like groups of souls that travel together.
Yeah.
Types of people that you get to be friends with or get to have in your life after whatever. Depending on your view of afterlife, which we know the Minbari think that you just keep getting reborn.
Right.
So it fits for them. And then we go to Londo getting presents. It's like a birthday party almost. And Lanier gave him some cards and he's like, I marked them just like you requested. He's like, shh, no, later.
Did he commission Lanier to make things for each of his wives with insulting commentary on them?
Well, I think it's just for him. He's the only one getting presents, Londo. But this was a nice callback to the episode that they went on their adventure together.
Oh, Lanier and Londo.
Yeah. And it makes you wonder if they've continued to keep hanging out.
Cultural exchange.
Yeah. He's like, later, Lanier, later. Don't talk about it right now. And then he goes, oh, what's this? And he unwraps the statue. And Marielle's like, that's from me. That's from me. I bought it for you. And Daguerre's like, in a way, it's from all of us. And then a poison dart shoots out of his eyes into Londo's forehead. And he's like, blah! He falls backwards. And this is when Sheridan gets to do the med lab. This is Sinclair. He doesn't. He says Sheridan.
Yeah.
I need an emergency team fast. And right away. And I thought, wow, bold to do that in front of everybody.
Right.
More plausible deniability, I guess.
An idea is this just a long con by Jakar?
I don't think so. Because Jakar doesn't imply. He would have taken credit with Marielle when he and Marielle were chatting.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. He's like, you did this. I know you did this. It was smart. I admire you, but he's going to figure it out. Marielle's like, figure what out? I don't understand.
Londo he's more capable than you think.
Yeah. Which is why I've had a hard time
appropriately wary going after Malari because he's way more cunning than he seems.
Right. And we find out that what this poison is doing is accelerating his metabolism. So he's burning himself out. He's like, brain waves are all over the place, whatever. And Sheridan's like, can we make an antitoxin? And he's like, I mean, not soon enough. And a transfusion might do it, but we don't have enough of his blood.
And we've never been good at synthesizing Centauri blood.
So, like, we're shit out of luck. You'd think they'd keep... Well, I guess they don't have enough. They don't have enough to do a full transfusion. They have some, but they don't have enough.
And you may have already given him as much as he had. You'd think they'd have, like, a dialysis-style machine that they could filter his blood through.
You know what they could?
Or a machine.
I knew it was coming. I was about to
a machine that it can exchange life energy.
I was about to make the same joke. If only we had 3 people who would volunteer to give their life force to try to keep him alive.
We actually, so Timov shows up and says, we actually have the same blood type. We don't know that they actually do a blood transfusion.
They do.
Maybe they do the blood transfusion and life force.
I don't know. What I love is that it takes her a while to decide to do it.
Yeah, what am I going to do about this?
Because Dr. Franklin's like, why didn't you fucking tell me? And she's like, I had to think about it. I don't know. It didn't come up. I didn't want to just hastily save his life. He's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
And Sheridan's like, I'm going to check in with Garibaldi, see if he's learned anything. Let me know if his condition changes. And then he leaves, and it's just Timov and Daguerre left because Marielle also leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, Marielle's like, I didn't know. I swear I didn't know.
Yeah, she
and they're like,
says a few things and then leaves.
Shut up. Shut up.
We're all pretending here.
Just fucking leave.
You don't need to perform for us, girl.
Oh, yeah. And then Daguerre's like, you do realize that he hasn't made his divorce decree official yet. So if he dies,
we're set.
We're set. Wow. And Timov goes, you can face him in his bed or his deathbed with equal calm. And Daguerre's like, I am what I was made by my father, by Londo, by society.
And she throws back.
Timov just goes, yeah, breeding will tell. I mean, Timov went through the same crucible, and she's still Timov, so.
Yeah.
And this is when we come back to Stoner, who they've arrested over this. And he's like, I didn't know it was dangerous. I've handled it 100 times. It must have been the Centauri metabolism that set it off. And Garibaldi's like, okay, well, you can explain it.
He's way too confident for somebody who is not backed up by a powerful shadow organization.
Right. Because he's like, okay, you can explain that to the magistrate. And Stoner's like, I'll explain it in hell. This is when Captain Sheridan shows up, and he's like, I just came from med lab, and he's dying. His condition is tearing him apart. So do we know anything about this artifact? And Stoner's like, I mean, I dug it up. I didn't plan on forming a long-term relationship with it. God, he's so bad. He's so obnoxious. He's so good. I hate him. I hate him.
This actor is doing a really good job.
So clearly he's doing a really good job. And he's like, where'd you dig it up? And then he says, quite sarcastically, an abandoned Centauri colony in Sector 127. And this is when Sheridan knows immediately what colony that is. He's like, I mean, did it occur to you to ask why it was abandoned? It's because they were driven out by the Narns, and Narns fight dirty. They rig traps. And this was probably one of them. He's like, I mean, it could be. And if it was, then I didn't ask nearly
Sheridan
enough
pops
money
in.
for it.
You should be studying your military history.
Well, he goes, I guess I didn't charge enough for
Time
it.
for a history lesson, everybody.
I know Sheridan. Sheridan's very, he's got a hobby, a very specific hobby, and it is knowing things.
Knowing things, particularly attempts or implications of stuff happening behind the scenes.
Right. He likes secrets.
Yep.
And this is when Stoner's like, oh my God, if I'd known it was a trap, I would have charged more for it. Oh, well, easy come, easy go. Can I leave now? And, I mean, really, what can they hold him on?
Right.
He clearly didn't know, but they don't let him go.
Yeah. Probably the only thing they could hold him on is negligence.
Yeah. That's what they say they're going to do.
He didn't do his due diligence on these artifacts.
Yeah. Because they're like, we're going to go check with Jakar, see if he knows anything about this area. And if Londo doesn't survive, I'm going to charge you with negligence in transporting dangerous materials. And Stoner's like, sure, yeah, go off, bro. Yeah, do whatever you need to do. Go for broke. He's like, hey, how about I call you an idiot in public and then you convict me of revealing state secrets?
Shut the fuck up, dude.
An asshole. And they walk out and they're like, oh, this fucker's up to something. Like, this fucker's got, he's got
nobody's
somebody.
That cool under pressure.
Unless they've got an ace up their sleeve. And Sheridan's like, cool, find out what it is, Michael. And see what you can do for Londo. And he's like, on it. Then we come back, and this is Dr. Franklin, and it's when Timov walks in, and she's like, we do have one thing in common, and it's our blood type. And he's like, well, you didn't tell me this before. And she was like, I was deciding what to do about it. And Dr. Franklin's like, he's dying. And she's like, we all die. sooner or later.
Do you realize how this works out for me if he dies? Like, this was a difficult decision to make.
And then she has this monologue to Dr. Franklin where she's like, as for Londo, after everything he's done, I would take some small pleasure in letting him die. But whatever you may think of me, I have principles that even 20 years with Londo can't erase.
I know. It may interest you to know that Londo and I do have one thing in common. The same blood type.
Well, why didn't you tell me this before?
I was deciding what to do about it.
Well, he's dying.
We all die, Doctor, sooner or later. As for Londo, after everything he's done, I would take some small pleasure in letting him die. But whatever you may think of me, Doctor, I have some principles that even 20 years with Londo can't erase. I do not like to win my battles this way. I find it vaguely unsatisfying. So you may have your transfusion, Doctor, on one condition. He must never know I did this. I don't think either of us could stand the awkwardness of false gratitude.
I can live with that. This way?
She goes, I don't like to win my battles this way. I find it vaguely unsatisfying. So you may have your transfusion, Doctor, on one condition. He must never know about this. I don't think either of us could stand the awkwardness of false gratitude. And Dr. Franklin's like, bloop, bloop, okay. He's like, I mean, yeah, sure, I can live with that.
Yep.
Come on over here, this way. What? Dr. Franklin's like, what? Because she's literally like,
I'll take it where I can get it.
I know, she's literally like, I considered letting him die. And Dr. Franklin's like, yes, tell me more. Can you come sit down? What led to this conclusion? Would you like to take a blood test?
He's interrogating her while she's hooked up to the blood machine.
He's like, one time I was taking care of this kid and I was told to let him die and I didn't. And so I want to know what the other side feels like. And then he died anyway. Weirdest thing. This is when we get, Lou Welch. Lou Welch, you were like, I didn't think that was Lou. It is Lou. He's in season 2, but I don't think he's in anymore. Okay. I think this is his last season. And he's like, I got some information you wanted on Stoner. He's like, good news or bad news? And he's like, bad. It's basically.
It all checks out.
It's everything that he said. And Garibaldi's like, no.
It's too clean.
Nobody leaves Psychor. Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I want to talk to him again. He's like, okay, I'll tell him as soon as he gets done eating. And he's like, eating? What? They don't get food for another hour. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's right. And he goes, what? Why did you give him food? And he's like, I don't know. He just asked for it. There's just something about the guy. It really makes you like him. And Garibaldi's like, not me. It doesn't.
He's got shielding.
Yeah. Just a innate stubbornness, I guess.
He has an inherent resistance to mental manipulation.
Or he's not trying because Stoner doesn't care if he likes him or not.
I don't know about that because I think earlier Stoner was intentionally riling him up.
Yeah.
More than just bantery.
He may notice. He may be worried he'd notice if all of a sudden his feelings towards him changed.
Yeah, Garibaldi may be too self-aware.
Yeah.
That he would recognize when...
Hang on a minute. I hate that fucker. This is when we go back to Londo. Londo's feeling better. And he wakes up. And he's like, Londo, do you know where we are? And Londo goes, either in med lab or in hell. Either way, the decor needs work.
You okay? Londo, do you know where you are?
Either in med lab or in hell. Either way, the decor needs work.
Oh, Dr. Franklin.
And his wives are there, and they're like, oh, Dr. Franklin, thank you for saving our husband. You've done the Centauri a great service. That remains to be seen, actually. And he goes, I agree. It's good to see you with us again, Londo. And then Londo's like, that settles it, Doctor. I'm in hell.
Oh, poor Londo.
And then he looks over at Timov,
suffers.
and he's like, not a word from you, Timov, not an insincere word of relief, not a blink of false concern for my well-being. And she's like,
No.
If you'll excuse me, I'll be in my quarters.
I'm suddenly feeling quite fatigued.
Probably from the transfusion that I did to save your life, and then leaves. Her headband has something underneath of it. It's right over her one temple.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else's headband is slick to their head.
Yeah.
Hers has like, I don't know if it's there to provide tension, because if it is, why not put it in the back?
Right.
Or if it's supposed to be a part of the headband, but she has a little...
Like wrinkle or something?
A thing. She has something underneath of her headband, right over her one temple. And I was like, what is that? It distracted me. Oh. And they all leave because they're like, oh yeah, we're all tired from working so hard to worry about you.
Yeah. Oh, and then Londo complains
like,
about his wives. And
nightmares.
Franklin's like, shut the fuck up, Londo.
Because nightmares, all of them. And Timov is the worst of the lot. And Dr. Franklin's like, do you mind if I make like a personal observation? He's like, oh, no, not at all. What is it? And he goes, shut the fuck up. He just goes, stick it. But
yeah. Odd. I didn't even know we were married.
And then we come back, and it feels like we're missing a scene where Garibaldi met with Talia and was like, I think there's some hinky shit happening. Yeah. Can you have a meeting with him? Because all of a sudden Talia's having a meeting with Stoner. And she's like, I'm not going with you. Fuck all that noise. I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't believe you're throwing away your chance to leave Psychor. And she's like, I mean, I'm a telepath. I am what I am. I can't give away a piece of myself just so I could come with you. Oh, I was like, why does that feel? For a minute, I was like, I've seen this before. And it's from the series finale of True Blood.
Oh.
Which, if you haven't seen that, I'm so sorry. I'm about to spoil it. But she has the opportunity to give up the last of her telepathic ability, like her light or whatever.
Right.
And then she'll be normal. And she won't have to deal with all this shit that she's been dealing with because she's telepathic.
Right.
And then she's like, I don't wanna. It's a part of me.
Right.
I like it.
She don't want to be a normie.
Right. I think it'd be terrifying to be able to hear what other people are thinking and then all of a sudden you can't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, what are they thinking? I feel like everyone was lying to me all the time. He's like, I just wanted you to come with me. I didn't want to pressure you. I wanted it to be different this time. I wanted you to choose me this time, I think is what he's saying.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was certain if I told you about the cure, you'd come of your own free will. And she's like, yeah, but I don't really want to walk away from who I am or what I am.
Yep.
And if you take away my talents, I don't know what's left. I literally, from the time I was 5 years old, have been defined as a telepath. So I don't have anything else.
Right. Her environment has made her something that orbits solely around her telepathic abilities.
Yeah. But you're still coming with me. And she's like, Matt, I really don't want to. And he's like, oh, no. You're coming with me. And she's like, oh, of course. And I wrote, wow, violation much?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
You'll arrange for immediate transport. I'll be waiting for you in Dock 19. And then he steps out of the room and Garibaldi punches him in the fucking face. Just exactly what you wanted to have done to him the entire episode happens. And then when we come back, he's got a big old bruise on his face. Yep. I was like, that feels so good. And he's like, thanks, Talia, for your help. Damn, I love being right. And then we come to Jakar and Mariel. And this is the scene where I think you're supposed to read that Mariel did it. And Jakar knows because Jakar
has deduced it, but...
And he's like, Londo's gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
He goes, the problem with mysteries is that in order to get rid of the headaches, I have to figure them out. And here we're faced with a staggering set of coincidences. A Centauri artifact, an ancient booby trap, happens to show up just in time to be purchased as a gift for Londo. And rather than hide or deny responsibility, the gift giver makes a point of saying she gave it to him, which neatly avoids any accusation of malicious intent. Because usually when you're trying to kill someone, you hide the attempt. And I wrote, Jakar would know. Jakar would know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one schemer to another.
Yeah. And he's like, you see, my head, it no longer throbs because I have solved this mystery. And she goes, wow, that's a very interesting theory, Jakar.
One schemer talking to another about a third.
I just love when Jakar gets to wear his sex robe. And clearly Andreas has this whole chest piece that he has to wear. And none of this should be hot. And yet it's all working. No part of this should be like, oh, and yet, You're like, I get it. I get it. He goes, oh, do I look like a rumor mongerer? I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody, but don't underestimate him. He's going to figure it out. And she just goes, Jakar, it was a pleasure, as always. And he's like, okay, Marielle, but don't be overconfident. If I were married to Londo Malardi, I'd be concerned. And she goes, Jakar, if you were married to Londo Malari, we'd all be concerned. Then she leaves. And then we go back to Matt Stoner. Yeah. And he's sitting at the table looking quite mollified with a big old bruise on his face. And literally like half of security is in the room.
Yeah.
It's Sheridan and Garibaldi and Lou Welch all in the room together. And Talia. He's like, our initial inquiry said that you and Psychor are quits. Yeah, as soon as we slap you in a cell and prepare to charge you with transporting a dangerous object, who would ride to the rescue but Psychor? Isn't that weird? It's like ordering you to be turned over to them on the next shuttle. So weird. And he's like, well, I left their employ under cordial circumstances. And they're like, yeah, I don't think you fucking left their employ at all. You told Talia that the experiments erased your telepathic ability, but honestly, I think they changed it into something new, an empath.
This reminds me of the mule from the Foundation series, where the mule describes it as people's heads are full of dials.
Okay.
And he can just turn all the dials however he wants to make the people act however he wants them to.
Okay. That's probably, pretty similar.
Yeah.
Because he's like, your effect on Garibaldi and Talia and Officer Welch all point to it. Psychor couldn't keep you on the rolls because then people might find out that they've been experimenting on people to increase their abilities. So they had to let you go officially, but keep you on unofficially. Lucky for you, you didn't turn into a god.
You didn't ascend.
You didn't ascend.
Maybe he could have, but he wasn't.
Those were early experiments. They didn't want that to happen again. They're like, you know what we don't want? Matt Stoner turning into an ascended being. He's too much of a douchebag. Yeah. They're lucky that the guy who did ascend was a nice guy.
Well, maybe he's just too self-centered to actually like grow as a person.
Yeah, literally to literally ascend to self-actualize to another plane of existence because he's too much of a douchebag.
Yeah.
He's like, this is nonsense. And they're like, is it? Before you changed, the Corps decided you and Talia were genetically a perfect couple. So it makes sense that they'd send you here in the hope of breeding more empaths. I hate the word breeding. Hate it. Even if it meant controlling her to do it.
Yep.
And he looks at him and he's like, I think you should just forget all about this. And they're like, oh, no. Don't try that little trick again. I've got 5 armed guards outside watching the monitors, and if we start acting like best buddies, their orders are to come in shooting. And he just goes, ooh, tough guy. And then he looks over at Talia and goes, you've surrounded yourself with tough guys. And I wrote, it's called just being nice to people.
It's called having friends. Have you heard of it? These are my friends.
Like for realsies. Like I didn't have to make them my friends. I could literally just be nice. Yeah, you're a master manipulator, Talia. You've gotten all these people to be on your side by being a genuinely
legitimate
nice
human
person.
connection.
What's your secret? Something you'll never know. It's like, Talia, I was only acting in your best interests. I didn't want to repeat the mistakes of the past. I wasn't lying. I do know the cure. And he goes, look into my mind. No shields, no tricks. And she just goes, no chance. And then walks off. And Garibaldi's like, see you in some other lifetime. Which is a reference, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to get to punch you in every lifetime. And then we go to Londo and his wives because the Centauri are getting on the transport to Centauri. And Veer is giving the ambassador's upcoming itinerary to Timov. And he's like, I marked the events that you might wish to attend and those where he'll actually be accompanying you. And he turns to Daguerre and Marielle and is like, ladies, it's been a pleasure. Fuck off. And they're like, Londo, you've made a big mistake, a huge mistake. And he's like, well, it wouldn't be my first. Actually, it would be my 4th. He's like, look, be satisfied. I gave you a reasonable allowance as settlement. So like, I'm not turning you out into the cold.
Right, like he had threatened earlier.
Yeah. It's like, we're supposed to be grateful for that. And he's like, yeah, you are. That's the joy of it. You don't have any choice but to be grateful for it. So fuck off, ladies. And then Timoff is like, all right, I'll bite. Why me? Why me? And he's like, because I always know where I stand with you. Because she goes, I've made no pretense of affection for you. I find your recent actions contemptible. I'll never love you. At best, I'll tolerate you, and I'll never be what you want me to be. So why me? And he's like, that's it right there.
Nail on the head.
I love that he kept the autistic wife.
Yeah.
The wife that's like, I can't lie to you because it would offend my sensibilities to not be honest with you. And he's like, that's why you're perfect. Because I'm going to fuck around on you. That's just going to happen.
Right.
So, and you don't care because you don't even like me. But you get to be on my arm for official things. So
yeah, you get to have a prestigious position in society. You get to have the freedom to just do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
She can maintain all of her interests and hobbies. And all she needs to do is just tell Londo to fuck off every once in a while.
Which she's happy to have happen.
Yep.
And then we cut to Ivanova meeting with Delenn in the transport tube.
Yeah.
And this is when she's like, I just want to thank you for your patience and your understanding. And, taking on human characteristics has been something of an education. And Ivanova's like, oh my God, no problem. Like, if you have any other questions or anything, you just have to ask. And she's like, actually, now that you mention it, why am I suddenly getting these really odd cramps? And that's the part that Mira Furlan was like, please don't make me say that.
Yeah,
and it's fine.
Which means that the Minbari don't reproduce the same way? Or...
I guess. Or they don't have, I don't know. I feel like in sci-fi, every alien race is always an improvement over the way that we menstruate or whatever. And the same thing happens in a lot of romantasy. Anytime they become some sort of immortal creature, they only have a period once a year or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's a television show conceived of by a man where most of the writers so far have been men. So it just felt like, oh, what do women get when they have their period? Cramps, right? Everyone's going to get that joke. Cramps. Okay, great. That would suck too. Honestly, you didn't have one and then all of a sudden.
No, you've never had a period. No, you start having a period.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a big change.
Yeah, I read that book, The Postmortal, which I just talked about in an episode of Strange and Beautiful Book Club that isn't out yet. And it was written by a man who has never in his life had an actual conversation with a woman. And one of the first things that pops up in the book is he's talking to his friend and she's like, okay, I'm going to get the cure, which is the cure for aging. But it literally just makes you not grow old. It doesn't make you invulnerable. It doesn't cure anything else. And she's like, oh man, I'm going to have my period for the rest of eternity.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that would not be my first thought. I mean, it'd be up there, but I wouldn't be like, wow, I'm going to bleed forever. Like, oh, okay. There's actually no reason why we can't skip periods. Like, so, okay, fine. We're here. Let's do this. When women take birth control pills, there's a certain number of pills that you take that at the very end are placebo pills so that you'll have a period.
Right.
And then the next month you start back on your medicated pills.
Right.
And the only reason the placebo pills are in there was like a Catholic lobbying thing that happened when birth control pills were originally released.
Oh, where you just took it consistently?
If you just take it consistently, if you skip the placebo pills and you just go straight to the next pack and start at the beginning, you don't have a period and it's fine. There's no study that says you have to have one every month in order to be healthy. It was literally like a Catholic push for women so they wouldn't forget or whatever. They felt like it removed women from their natural cycle or whatever. You know, we're all supposed to be remembering that we're baby dispensers at all times. And if we don't have a period, we're going to forget for a minute that we're supposed to be cranking them out.
Yep.
Or whatever. So I don't know. I feel like this is very 90s. It fits the 90s vibe. I'm not mad at it. I feel bad that Mira Furlan was like, this is an infantile joke. I don't think it's I think it's funny, but I think it's also supposed to be like this is how human she's become.
Right.
And so if you just frame it in your mind as that, I'm fine with it. If it's just a crack about, women and cramps. Not every woman even gets period cramps. So it's not even like a universal experience.
Right.
But whatever, it's fine. It happens. The rest of the episode is so good, I really don't care. Casting the actresses that they cast for Londo's wives make this episode.
Absolutely.
Make it. If they had just been bland, like, they're fine, serviceable side characters, it would have been okay. But to put two incredibly talented women,
rock stars,
in this role and then have them bat dialogue and then give the writing of this episode to a guy who's very good at dialogue was a stroke of genius. This is one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
It was supposed to highlight for us what Londo is like in circumstances where we haven't seen him before. I'm not really sure what it did for me with Londo. I don't know that it proved anything to me about Londo that I didn't know already.
Right.
Except that his first act, when he's finally gaining more power, is to take control of his life.
Right.
He no longer needs to be associated with these women and their powerful families in order to have power. And so he immediately is like, deuces, and drops two of them.
Yeah.
Would have dropped all three.
Right.
But the emperor was like, you got to keep one. And he was like, cool, I'll pick. And he picked Timov.
Right.
I think it was good. I mean, I like it. I like Londo. I liked having this moment to look into Londo's life as it is. Like, can you imagine what his life was like on Centauri?
Right.
Because they would all live in the same house with him, just sniping at each other constantly.
Yeah.
And
which gives you perspective on his previous discussions about his wives, where he's just like, why do you think I became the ambassador to Babylon 5?
Yeah.
Because I wanted them silence.
Yeah. The reason he's finding so much joy in them this time around is because he knows this is finite.
Right.
That they're competing finally with each other and not with him. Because at any moment, two of them are going to be gone.
Yep.
Which previously, there was no way for him to unshackle himself from their pestilence, famine, and death.
Death.
Yeah. I was like, not war, because Londo's war. So, and Timov is famine. So anyway, this was good. I really enjoyed this. I needed this pick-me-up episode.
Yeah.
When you have to talk about each episode the way we have to talk about them, it changes the way you experience the episode. And it's nice because it really heightens the highs. Like, it makes the good episodes feel even better. But then it also, sometimes when you're watching a mediocre episode and you're thinking about what kind of stuff you can talk about, that gets like, oof, okay, what am I going to bring up in this?
Right.
What am I going to talk? It highlights mentally the less compelling episodes because you're aware of how little there is to say about them.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It was fine. You didn't actually come across that all that often in Forever Night because there was always something to make fun of. But in Babylon 5, sometimes it's a necessary episode. It's just not the most stellar necessary episode you've ever seen in your whole life. And that's fine. It's okay. They don't all have to be.
Yeah.
There's a place for all of that. So I guess we'll just leave it here. I guess, well, we're already 7 episodes into season 2. We're just flying. We're flying through this. Not. So I guess we'll leave it there. We live for the one.
We would die for the one.
Until next time, friends.
Bye.